Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and today we're going to look at something very cool. This is music via code. We're going to be looking at a front end and then the back end behind it. But first, if you are looking for actual music for your game, you may want to check out this new bundle. Over on Bundle Foundry, you will find out they launched a new bundle, the Game Effects and Ambient Music Bundle, and this is from our friends over at Avani. They make wonderful stuff. Cool thing here is they also have a free tier, so if you want to come in here and check out what their music and sound effects are like, you can do so. On top of that, some great pickups for your game audio. All right, let's jump right in. So we're looking today at something called Strudel REPL. Now, this is a website where you can go and do audio programming. This is based on another application called Tidal, which was written in Haskell, but this has been ported over to JavaScript. You can use this as a library if you wish for your own tools, or you can actually use this to generate music. What kind of music? Well, let's start with this simple sound sequence. Alright, so it gives you an idea. This is the code to go ahead and create audio. Now we're going to show you a whole lot more. This actually single-handedly has perhaps the best interactive documentation I have ever seen in my life. You're going to be really impressed by that in just a second. Now let me impress you a lot less, because I have zero musical talent even when it comes to coding. But I'm going to show you how to set a sequence of notes. This goes back to the extent of what my music training is, and that is back when I learned the recorder, back when I was a young lad, and this song and the notes for it stay in my head to this day. B, A, G, and then B, A, G, and then G, 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 A, B, A, G. So that was the first song that I ever learned, and that is it in notation form. What that is hot cross buns. Now let's go ahead and play that. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, okay, that's a little fast, and you're not wrong. So we're going to set another command. So if you've done any programming, this is going to look very familiar to you. So I'm going to just come in here and go set CPM, or I think that's basically characters per minute instead of beats per minute, but characters per minute, and we're going to set that to 8. And that's going to play our sequence a whole lot slower. All right, we're definitely getting to hot cross buns here. Now let's go and actually turn this into, I don't know, music as opposed to notes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this a piano. All right, so that's it. Oh, we changed that. So there you go, sequence of notes as a piano. I could also come in here, let's say, make it a flute instead. Oh, wait, no, flute is a GM underscore flute. So don't make any errors in your code or you're not gonna get any audio. Now let's say I wanted to have a little bit of reverb there. Well, we can do that as well. Set, and then we can pass it into room. And let's make our room 0.2. And then go ahead. Not that noticeable. What I'm going to do is go ahead and switch this up to 8, and we'll do an update. And now you're hearing that reverb in there as well. So that is the extent of my masterful music abilities here. But I'm going to show you how you can learn a whole lot more from this. First off, you notice we used a bunch of instruments there. You'll find actually here, the sounds, the things that you can pass in as a sound level, here are your options in terms of instruments. And it's pretty massive. So you got, if you want a GM distortion guitar right here, or GM church organ. So let's do that. GM church organ, like so. Oh, I need an underscore there, right there, and then play. So that's how you can switch between the various different samples. We also have a number of different drum machines. We'll get to that in the demos in just a sec. Synthesizers, wavetables. You can also import in and load your own stuff. On top of that, again, we also have all of the coding thing here. So you're going to notice all these very different programming functions that can be passed in. Are all available here. So all of your keywords or things that you can work with are here. So for example, room that we used earlier on sets the level of reverb, and you can see the instructions for it right here. At first, this all looks just like a foreign language for sure, but this starts to make a little bit more sense as you work on it. By the way, this isn't purely just for play. You can actually create something and export it out as a wave, and you can use this in a game if you wish. So you can export out your files. Whatever music you generate here, you can do so. Now, where you're going to want to jump in with this is over here. So this is, again, like I mentioned earlier on, perhaps the best interactive documentation I have ever seen in my life. So here you can see dealing with sound. So here is the sound of a Casio keyboard. It doesn't actually do anything. It's a single note. So let's say, again, so you can play various different instruments there. Or here we can say, here is a drum kit. So you can see, you can start translating what those letters actually mean. So BD, HH is hi-hat, like so. OH, again, my musical notation is awful, but you can see your bass drum, your hi-hat, and so on. So all the various different drums that you can set them up. So you do a drum line using this sequence right here. You also saw earlier on where we used a note sequence, like when we did hot cross buns with your what is it? Every good boy deserves fudge and FACE. Those are the various different notes that are available for composition. Here you can see sequences instead. And then add more to the sequence. And then sequence surrounded by the angle brackets just gives you a different play cycle. And then going down here, so you can see here is changing the pace, which we did earlier on. And then you can add rest. So if you want to pause, you just put a little dot, the dash sign in there. So you see how you start composing more complicated. And you can do subsequences, putting brackets around them. So you see how you start putting all these things together. Here we got speed. And there you see like they're doing it by this 2 notes with the asterisk 2. And on and on and on it goes. So you start here. Here is playing sequences in parallel using commas. So this will play with that. And you can see the sequence that they play at as they're going through. Again, it gives you an idea of what this is capable of. Then again, same thing here with your notes. All your various different notes are backed up here. You can do notes with raw number, or you can do notes with letter, like I did earlier on. Then also you can do the sharp notes, or like you saw with me earlier on, you can use an octave note as well, which is why I did the 4s attached to everything as well. And then you change it out just by passing in a different instrument. You can see how you can start using all of this together. And then we get in here, we've also got special effects. So this is using a low pass filter. So again, it looks really scary at first, but it's one of those things that once you start getting into it, especially if you already understand music notation, which I barely do, you'll appreciate what it is capable of even more. And then you can also do special effects here, like they've done vowel or gain. And again, you can combine it all together. So here's a bunch of all the stuff. So sounds and notes all combined together to make a little tune. Keeps going. So we got here samples. So there's a bunch built in, but you can upload your own as well. We also have synths. That's basic waveforms, and we get into like more complicated stuff down here. Here's a spectral filter attached. You can even actually have visualization, which again, this graphic, this interactive tutorial here is, again, one of the most impressive things I have ever seen. So even if you're not interested in creating music in any way, it's just fun to play around with, if I'm honest. I don't know what the point of that one is, to be honest. White noise in an orbit. But you get an idea, all the various different effects there. This explains all the various different special tools and so on. It's all very, very, very well documented. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is Strudel. You want to go ahead and check it out. It's available at strudel.cc. Just load it up in your browser. You can go ahead and basically just start playing with things to your heart's content. And then once again, you can come back here. And then once you have something like our masterful church organ rendition of Hot Cross Buns, like so, you can go ahead and export that one out to a WAV file. It will download it, I should have probably put a file name first, but it just downloads it as date otherwise. So you get these things out and run them in a game engine or wherever you wish. Now, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the technology behind this, this is all based off something called Tidal. So Tidal Cycles, or Tidal for short, is free open source live coding environment for algorithmic patterns written in Haskell. It's using Super Collider, another open source software for synthesis and MIDI. Tidal was inspired open source family of similar projects, Uzu and Strudel. Strudel is what we're looking at today. But this is kind of the heart of it all. This is an open source project written in Haskell. So you can go ahead, Uzu, which is what we looked at, Uzu Strudel is what we looked at today. This was written using JavaScript, and you can again check that one out in the browser at strudel.cc. But you can see source code for it is available here. This one again is entirely in JavaScript, and then we've got it is based off of Tidal, which again, if you come in and go ahead and check that one out, you will find that it is written in Haskell. And the number of people that know Haskell on this world is like 7. So I think that finding a version that is written in JavaScript is going to be much more accessible. So if you want to just build, like if you're building an audio tool, you can actually use this as the back end of it. And details of doing so are available here. And then, again, JavaScript is much more accessible language for the majority of people than Haskell. I'm not saying it's a better or worse language. I'm just saying there's not a lot of people out there that know Haskell. And I know everybody out there that loves Haskell, you're going to tell me it's a wonderful language, and I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just not a very pervasive language out there. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Once again, there is that bundle going on over at Bundle Foundry if you want to go ahead and check that one out. By the way, if you do purchase it with my link, it does help support me. But what we looked at today, this is Strudel REPL. This is built on top of the other projects we talked at earlier on. And if you just want to go ahead and check that one out, again, strudel.cc. Play with it in the browser. It's a lot of fun. At least I found it a lot of fun. And again, if you actually probably knew anything about music, unlike myself, you would probably just find this like hours and hours of entertainment. All right, let me know what you think about music, programming. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.